Colleagues, can I ask you to take your seats? Let's start this extraordinary session. Wait a moment until colleagues take their seats. So good morning to you all. The session adjourned on the 12th of February 2026 is reopened. I have a couple of announcements. First of all, following the appointment of Tom Berendsen to the Dutch government, Parliament takes note of the vacancy of his seat from 23rd February 2026 in accordance with the rules of procedure. And following the appointment of Daniel Caspary as member of the European Court of Auditors, Parliament takes note of the vacancy of his seat from the 1st of March 2026 in accordance with the rules of procedure. Elisabetta Gualmini is no longer a member of the S&D Group and joins the Renew Europe Group as of the 24th of February 2026. And Roberto Vannacci is a member of the ESN Group as of the 24th of February 2026. The EPP, S&D and Renew Europe groups have notified me of decisions relating to changes to appointments within committees and delegations. These decisions will be set out in the minutes of today's sitting and take effect on the date of this announcement. I'd like to inform you that together with the President of the Council, I shall today sign 6 acts adopted under the ordinary legislative procedure in accordance with Rule 81 of Parliament's Rule of Procedure. The titles of the acts are the following and will be published in the minutes of this sitting. Enhanced cooperation on the establishment of the Ukraine support loan for 2026 and 2027, establishing the Ukraine facility, certain corporate sustainability reporting requirements and certain corporate sustainability due diligence requirements, certain market rules and sectoral support measures in the wine sector and for aromatized wine products, establishment of a list of safe countries of origin at Union level and application of the concept of safe third country. We now come to the order of business. The final draft agenda as adopted by the Conference of Presidents on the 12th of February 2026 pursuant to Rule 163 has been distributed. I have received no request for changes to the final agenda, therefore the agenda is adopted. The next item on the agenda is Parliament's statements, 4 years of Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine and European contributions to a just peace and sustained security for Ukraine. I'd like to inform members that for this debate there is no catch-the-eye procedure and that no blue cards will be accepted. I would also like to welcome all the dignitaries present today and the 120 members of national parliaments who are with us today in the gallery up here. Welcome, dear colleagues. So, dear members, today we mark 4 years since Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine. On the 24th of February 2022, as tanks rolled across European borders and war descended on our continent, Russia thought they could take Ukraine in days. But Ukrainians proved them wrong. They keep going, refusing to give in, standing defiant in the face of almost unimaginable daily hardships, through the depths of grueling winters, even as drones fall indiscriminately and Russian missiles target women and children. That is why today we honour the bravery of the Ukrainian people. We reaffirm our concrete support and we recommit our efforts for a real and lasting peace. Today, we will be joined in a few moments remotely by President Zelensky once again in this chamber. When I first met with the President in Kiev, I promised him that this Parliament would support Ukraine. And 4 years on, thanks to your efforts, all of us together, dear colleagues, we have not let Ukraine down. Because we know that when we stand together, Ukraine and Europe stand strong. Our actions are not solely based on altruism. We act because we know what is at stake for all of us. And I am proud of what we have done together, whether by supporting Ukrainian society by delivering 200 billion euros of support to help keep everyday life possible for millions of people, whether it is delivering generators to keep the lights and heating on in hospitals, in schools, in bomb shelters, whether it was supercharging Ukraine's defence capabilities to help those on the front lines and their families at home. And we will keep up stepping on our support. Later today, we will sign into law a 90 billion euro loan to shore up essential public services and keep Ukraine's defences strong, sending a clear message to every Ukrainian. Your security is Europe's security. Your freedom is Europe's freedom. And your future is in Europe. And we will keep working to make that happen. So now we will connect with the President Zelensky. Dear Volodymyr, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, dear Roberta, Madam President, dear commissioners and ambassadors and all members of the European Parliament. Thank you for your kind words about Ukraine and about Ukrainians. And most importantly, thank you for your constant attention, constant support, and your firm position on Russia's aggression against Ukraine. We truly feel that many Europeans do care about what will happen to Ukraine and whether we will be able to achieve a reliable and lasting peace. And we never chose this war. We didn't start it, and we did not provoke it, and we do everything we can to stop it. And this is not the first time in our history that Moscow comes to Europe with a very cruel, ruthless, anti-European project. There are many dictatorships in the world. Some seal themselves off within their own borders, trying to block any outside influence of freedom. And others do not recognize borders at all and actively try to destroy the freedom of their neighbors, entire regions, and sometimes even the whole world. When we deal with Russia, we face the second type of threat. It's a mentality, unstable dictatorship that cannot accept that in Europe every life matters. Human rights are important and nations can be protected whether they are big or small. Putin cannot accept one simple thing, that somewhere people can live differently and enjoy a life that is not the one he prefers. That is why he has been consistently trying to break someone, not just now, not just for 4 years, but throughout his entire time in power. He is war itself. Yes. And anyone who supports Putin cannot fail to understand that they are choosing war. This was true in 1999, and it is true today. He doesn't even pretend to be different. Putin's Russia started with a war in Chechnya, then moved on to Georgia and openly disrespects the independence of all its neighbors except China and North Korea, because it depends on them. Russian forces destroyed lives in Syria and in African countries, and in many ways this is also what caused the waves of migrants to Europe. Russia supports the insane regime in Iran and ignores any number of killings. And we cannot pretend this is not happening. The European Parliament has never deceived itself and has never traded European principles for any benefits in relations with Russia. Many European leaders, national parliaments, politicians and millions of Europeans act with the same principles, and I thank all of you for this. And unfortunately, this is not the first time Ukraine has to defend itself from a Russian invasion, but it is the first time we have such a large coalition supporting Ukraine, and this is one of our shared achievements of everyone who was not afraid on February 24, 2022, and of everyone who is not afraid today. And today we must be just as determined and strong as we were when the invasion began. The threat hasn't become smaller. Yes, we are holding Russia back, but we have not yet guaranteed security. And only together can we do this together in Europe. Yes, together with America. And of course, we all understand that this is not an easy task to maintain transatlantic unity and cooperation in the current conditions. But I am grateful to everyone who, despite all the challenges, continues to preserve this globally important link between Europe and America, and between all the world's democracies. We must continue to firmly apply the full range of protection against Russia, from strong sanctions to real support for life after Russian strikes. Each of you understands what fills Putin's wallet with money and allows him to drag out this war. So there must be no place in the free world for Russian oil, for Russian tankers, Russian banks, Russian sanctions, invasion schemes, or for any Russian war criminals. The time has come to fully ban all participants in Russia's aggression from entire Europe. We also need the full range of security guarantees for Ukraine. Thank you. And to prevent Russia from spreading its aggression in Europe, and to ensure that we can support any European nation if it becomes a target of a new Russian war. Right now, there is an important decision on the table, 90 billion euros in support for Ukraine over 2 years. This is a real financial guarantee of our security and our resilience, and it must be implemented. And I thank everyone who is working to make it happen. Thanks, all of you. And it is important for us to receive a clear date for joining the EU. Very important. As a part of the diplomacy process right now, within all the diplomacy aimed at ending the war. And this is not just a wish. It's a clear understanding of how Putin will act. If there is no date, if there is no such guarantee, he will find a way to block Ukraine for decades by dividing you, by dividing Europe. We must protect ourselves from this. And I'm grateful to every European country that is working with us to support our energy system, our air defense, and our coalition of the willing. The coalition of the willing has already brought together European nations, the United States, Canada, Japan, and others. Please help give real substance to the work of the coalition of the willing and truly be willing to end this war. In many ways, we can see how Russia shows contempt for Europe, but Russians should learn that Europe is not just a land for the villas of Russian oligarchs. It's not a museum for the lovers of Russian officials to admire beauty, and not a place of leisure for Russian killers. Russians must learn that Europe is a union of independent nations and millions of people who do not tolerate humiliation and will not accept violence. Please, thank you. Please continue to defend the European way of life. Please support Ukraine. Please support our diplomacy for peace and be effective. Every result you achieve is a line that Putin cannot cross. Thank you for all these years. Thank you so much. Slava Ukraini! Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Roberta. Thank you to all of you, dear friends. Thank you so much. We are very proud that we have such big support in Europe and in the world. Thank you so much again and again.
Thank you very much. Thank you, dear President Zelensky. Thank you, dear Volodymyr. Thank you very much.